Following the referendum held on May the 21st, 2006, and after regaining independence, the new government of Montenegro reaffirmed its aspirations towards EU membership by putting European integration at the very top of its priorities. With a population of only around 620,000, extensive natural potential, and an economy which will have to be substantially improved in the years to come, Montenegro will have to rely on its main treasure, its human resources.
Sustained and strategic development of education and human resources is important for the development of a competitive and innovative economy. And the reason that's important for Montenegro on its road to the EU is that on that road it has to develop in such a way that it can compete in a wider European economy. Research shows that access to quality education improves access to the labour market and also individual conditions of employment. So it's important not just for the individual but also for Montenegro's economy that the system of education and human resources, so that's university, training centres, schools and on-the-job training, is developed in a strategic and sustained manner.
In the years to come, the improvement of knowledge, skills and competencies will have to be adequately planned and implemented to enable us to create human resources that are necessary for a changing society.
Treba posmatrati dugoročno razvoj ljudskih resursa da postanemo, znači u ovom smislu da postanemo članovi Evropske unije i razvoj ljudskih resursa da bi bili punopravni članovi Evropske unije.
Education for all is a concept which is different from that which we're used to and which questions many educational prejudices. An individual must now acquire the knowledge, skills and competencies needed to perform tasks. They must also be provided with opportunities to acquire new knowledge in line with the demands of the labour market they meet throughout their life, and in formal, informal and non-formal learning situations. They should be prepared for a creative problem-solving approach, and all members of society must be equally involved in this process.
U tom obrazovanju za sve mi ljudima treba da omogućimo da nauče kako će da uče, da prepoznaju svoje potrebe i kako mogu da se usavršavaju. To je jedan od važnih principa, tako da izlazimo u susret savremenim zahtjevima tržišta rada i pripremamo ljude na mogućnosti da mogu da promijene više puta radno mjesto u skladu sa ekonomskim dešavanjima i prilikama u okruženju. Dakle, da im omogućimo da imaju veći izbor u smislu zanimanja i mogućnosti poboljšanja svog ekonomskog statusa. Mi sa promjenama pokušavamo da u fokus stavimo dijete i da čujemo šta dijete ima da kaže o obrazovnom sistemu, odnosno o sistemu u kome on živi veliki broj godina, u kojem stiče znanje i vještine.
The new educational concept highlights the importance of the so-called key competencies, the basic skills necessary in everyday life. Education and training focus more on those skills necessary for day-to-day work, communicating in the mother tongue and foreign languages, the use of computers, entrepreneurship, establishing relationship with others, and other knowledge and skills. Pupils and students recognised long ago the importance of acquiring such knowledge, and they feel resistance towards old educational models, which overloaded them with unnecessary information.
Pa svakako da ne vole neke predmete koje se sastoje iz suštih definicija i koji zahtijevaju učenje na pamet. Doduše, mi sada u završnim razredima, konkretno medicinske škole, imamo više stručnih predmeta, pa nas profesori uglavnom upućuju na učenje sa razumijevanjem i na odgovaranje svojim riječima. Mada, znači, postoje i ti predmeti koji zahtijevaju učenje na pamet, što nama u suštini jako teško pada i što niko od nas ne voli.
Information about conditions in which knowledge, skills and competencies are acquired is becoming less important. Modern employers are interested to know whether someone's able to do the job and not about the circumstances in which these competencies were acquired. Learning is not only linked to schools or faculties any longer, it's more frequently acquired through various training providers or even self-initiated.
U svijet kompjutera i 3D animacije ušao sam sasvim slučajno. Još krajem srednje škole sam došao do računara i tu su već počela prva neka interesovanja za razne programe. Međutim, to nikakve veze nije imalo sa mojim srednjim obrazovanjem koje je bilo vezano za srednje hemijsku školu, smjer frizer. Te sam tu školu i završio i kasnije izučio taj zanat. Prvi put kada sam sjeo za računar, pokrenuo sam jedan program za koji nisam ni sanjao da će biti meta mog daljeg interesovanja. Tokom vremena sam ga učio i sve više se interesovao za njega, samim tim sam ga i usavršavao.
For most people, acquiring a diploma used to mark the completion of their education. Today, that's no longer possible. Although she graduated 5 years ago, Tanja Oistritz, a government employee of the Ministry of Education and Science, has already continued her education at the Faculty of European Integration within the project that offers scholarships to employees of the Montenegrin government. She must continuously develop to be able to follow the changes resulting from the accession process of Montenegro to the EU.
Zbog toga što se pred nas stavljaju neki novi zadaci i nove obaveze zbog kojih ćemo morati da djelujemo danas brže nego inače. Onog dana, kad uđemo u Europsku uniju, značaj razvoja ljudskih resursa u Crnoj Gori će biti još veći, jer samim članstvom proističu nova prava i nove obaveze.
We used to believe that schools only for young people. Education for all questions such age-related limitations. At the age of 46, Izeta Gargovic recently graduated from the Faculty of Forestry after a pause of 20 years. Encouragement came from her husband Nasser and his colleagues, who were involved in various education projects. But what primarily motivated Izeta was her confidence in the value of knowledge and learning.
Nego jednostavno gledala sam Nasera, radio i uključio se u projekte. Dolazili su kod nas kući, vrlo često su radili dugo. Uvijek sam i ja učestvovala sa njima u priči jer je to bio i moj fah. Ja sam, tako reći, bila pri kraju, jedino što nisam imala još tu diplomu. Tako da je meni to hvalilo.
Eventually, Izeta expects her investment in knowledge to be reflected in her economic and social standing. Also, continuing education boosted her self-confidence and changed the life of the whole Gargovic family.
Bukvalno, otkako je počela pogotovo reforma obrazovanja, mi smo stalno u nekim reformskim tokovima. Stalno se u kući pominje VET, pominju se neki standardi zanimanja, pominju se programi obuke, radi se i afirmiše se učenje.
She sees the successful continuation and completion of her education as her accomplishment, but also that of her family who supported her.
Osjetila sam da su djeca, da i djeca žele i da se ja usavršim, da se i ona usavrše, da budu iznad nas, tako reći, da budu jači od mene i od Nasera.
The new educational model assumes that no one should be outside the learning process because everyone has capacities and abilities. In order to develop further and to make the best use of everything that we have, Montenegro will have to continue to seek opportunities to develop the potential of each individual because each individual is important.
Svako društvo je dužno da osobama omogući da se iskažu i samim tim da svojim radom doprinesu da čitavo društvo bude uspješnije, a i kroz to će se veoma mali broj ljudi naći na teret, odnosno društvo će morati manje da brine o njima. Prevashodno govorim o osobama sa hendikepom, jer i osobe sa hendikepom su dio društva i one žele da iskažu ono što mogu i mogu naravno više nego što većina misli.
There's no difference when speaking about the rights and abilities of the Roma population.
Obavez društva je znači da obezbede svima obrazovanje bez obzira na razlike. To se znači odnosi na romsku djecu i na Rome. Obaveze učitelja je da djeci omoguće da ta djeca normalno funkcionišu u školu, da budu kao i ostala djeca. Obaveza romskih roditelja je da šalju svoju djecu u školu i da koriste ta svoja prava, a obaveza romske djece bi bila da oni imaju to svoje obrazovanje i da jednostavno učestvuju u tome, a u stvari obaveza svih nas je da obezbedimo njima to obrazovanje.
However, not everything depends on schools or faculties. The development of human resources depends on the involvement of everyone: pupils, students, government employees, parents, the local community, and especially employers.
Znate kako, ja imam jedan utisak generalni da nama vrlo malo treba, vrlo malo, da bi mi uradili ono na pravi način kako treba to da se radi. To, kako mi vidimo da hotel sa svojim hardverom je jako bitan. Međutim, to ništa ne znači ako nemate taj software, to ne znači te ljudski resursi su jako bitni. Međutim, samo obrazovanje je veoma, da kaže, nelogično postavljeno. Mi dobijamo suve teoretičare. Nakon 4 ili 5 godina studija dobijamo svog teoretičara koji posjeduje neko znanje, ali ne posjeduje vještine i iskustvo, a to jedno bez drugoga ne može u ovim poslovima.
Practical education has become the main prerequisite of modern education. This secondary school student, Boško Filipovic, believes in this.
Za nas, konobar, ugostiteljske radnike, svaki dan je veliki izazov i kroz svaki dan treba što više da radimo, da vježbamo kako bi dostigli svoj cilj.
The new way of studying at higher education institutions in Montenegro is based on the Bologna Accord principles, free of excessive content and focused on specialized knowledge to be put into practice. Students will be the focus, the educational process, being given the right to be actively involved in creating this process.
Da svojim sugestijama, svojim predlozima učestvuju i ocjenjuju, znači, svoje profesore, rad svojih profesora, kvalitet predavanja, kvalitet ocjenjivanja, da sugerišu, da kritikuju, da pohvale.
Education must allow individuals to solve problems in a competent, efficient and creative manner to their own satisfaction and to the satisfaction of the entire society.
Studenti moraju biti svjesni da nakon završetka svojih studija moraju uložiti ogroman napor i ogroman trud da usavršuju u svakom pogledu svoje znanje i da prate dinamičke savremene tokove koje važe u današnjem svijetu.
Montenegro is committed to the European pathway. This decision requires the fulfillment of a number of requirements, and no one else will implement these on behalf of Montenegro.
When we talk about education, we're talking about issues that go to the heart and soul of every man, woman and child in Montenegro. But I've always been very, very impressed with the level of commitment to the reform and the modernization of the various parts of the learning system. And particularly by the readiness of all partners to embrace change. And here I'm talking about government, I'm talking about employers, trade unions, the universities, the teachers, civic society, everyone who has a stake in the overall learning system.
We must keep in mind that only a country that has adequate human resources and a country with a clear idea of how to further develop these resources can achieve further growth and prosperity.
I've no doubt that Montenegro will get there.